the effect it's had on the people of Israel, the people of UAE, the optimism and opportunity it's brought to the Middle East, none of that has been covered at all. And I think it's all because it came from us, from the Trump administration.
Yeah, but that's no bloody excuse here. That's no excuse. Like, this transcends the political as far as I'm concerned, and I think as far as anybody reasonable would be concerned. And it's important to give the devil his due, and that's the case even if the devil happens to be Trump and his damned minions. And the facts seem to me to be clear on the ground that this represents a significant and very unexpected move forward on the peace front in the Middle East, and that's been a problem that has threatened all of us for 70 years, for longer than that, on all sorts of fronts. Hello, everyone. It's my great pleasure and privilege to have with me today Ambassador David Friedman. As the United States Ambassador to Israel from March 2017 until January 2021, Ambassador Friedman successfully guided unprecedented diplomatic advancements in the U.S.-Israel relationship, including moving the United States Embassy to Jerusalem, a move that was promised by many previous administrations but never occurred, and recognizing Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. He is also among a very small group of American officials signally responsible for the Abraham Accords, comprehensive peace and normalization agreements between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco, for which he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2021. Ambassador Friedman was recognized in each of the past 5 years by the Jerusalem Post as one of the 50 most influential Jews in the world, coming in first in 2020. He also was named one of the 20 most impactful persons of the past decade by the Jewish Telegraphic Agency. Ambassador Friedman was honored by President Trump with the rare National Security Medal in September 2020, and by the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff with the Meritorious Civilian Service Medal in April 2019. He has received numerous other honors, recognitions, and awards, including honorary doctorates from Yeshiva University in New York and Ariel University in the Shomron. On February 8th, 2022, HarperCollins published Ambassador Friedman's memoir, Sledgehammer: How Breaking with the Past Brought Peace to the Middle East. In its first week, Sledgehammer broke sales records for a book on the state of Israel. Ambassador Friedman is also the founder of the Friedman Center for Peace Through Strength, which works to build upon the ambassador's achievements in strengthening the U.S.-Israel relationship. Welcome, Ambassador Friedman. David, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I'm very pleased that you're willing to share what you've done with me and my audience, and welcome to the discussion.
Thank you, Jordan. It's an honor to be on your show.
So let's jump right in. Let's start with an overview of the Abraham Accords. And I'm sure that my ignorance is shared by many people. We can start right from the beginning. What did you do and why, and what does it mean?
Well, the Abraham Accords is a series of agreements between Israel, 4 Muslim countries. If you add Kosovo and Europe, it's actually 5 Muslim countries. And, people have heard for years, for decades, about the Arab-Israeli conflict, the most intractable, if you will, of all the conflicts. And, there was some progress made in the 1970s with Egypt, and then in 1994 with Jordan. And that was it, 25 years, and there was no progress. And you had the Arab League consisting of about 22 countries that reflexively would oppose Israel, not just at the United Nations, but in every diplomatic attempt made by the United States. So the United States accepted this conventional wisdom that had been around for 50 years, that until Israel made progress with the Palestinians, there could be no progress among any other of the Arab nations, which was, in many respects, counterintuitive. We proved it to be flat out wrong. And as a result, the Middle East remained a very dangerous place with really no opportunities for any advancement, notwithstanding the fact there are more than 20 Arab countries, all with different issues, different populations, different concerns. We knew that Israel and some of these countries already had covert contacts. We knew that most of these countries didn't hate Israel. Some of them didn't even know why they didn't like Israel. Some of them, just reflexively acted against Israel. But you couldn't do anything because of this conventional wisdom. John Kerry was the biggest cheerleader for this point of view, that until Israel makes peace with the Palestinians, you can't move forward. And, when we came into office in 2017, we were given a mandate from President Trump to try to bring some greater modicum of peace to the Middle East. And what we recognized was that virtually everything that was in the playbook of the State Department for the past 50 years was just wrong. It was just wrong. It was stale. It had done nothing but increase the misery of the peoples living in the region. And we started to take a different tack. And there's lots of pieces to that, and I'm happy to go through them as you like me to. But we basically just changed all the rules of the game.
Okay, so what accounts for this remarkable intransigence on this front lasting 50 years? The evidence for the validity of your viewpoint is that when you challenged this presumption, and you said the central presumption was there was no movement possible on the Arab-Israeli front, or let's say on the Muslim-Israeli front, maybe to broaden it to some degree if that's not appropriate, there was no progress possible on that without movement in relationship to peace with the Palestinians. And so that was accepted dogma, and it put things into stasis for 5 decades. Now, you pointed out that the countries that are relevant to such an agreement are diverse and share a very diverse range of opinions, let's say, towards Israel. And so why was this accepted dogma on the State Department's part? And why was that accepted in some sense without question by presidents other than Trump until recently? I mean, this is the biggest peace issue in the world and has been since I've been alive, I would say, with the possible exception of the constant clamoring on the Cold War front. So how do you account for this?
Well, I found